What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2009 reboot of Friday the 13th. Pretty much like all the previous entries in this franchise, this movie follows a group of teenagers who, are going to spend time at Camp Crystal Lake, and they're getting, killed one by Jason Voorhees. But since this is a reboot, does have some differences and stuff, and pays homage to some of the previous movies. And in this one, Jason actually kidnaps a girl named Whitney, and one of the big plot points of the movie is her brother, Clay, is trying to find her, and he doesn't know that Jason has her held hostage, but he's trying to find her and help some of the people who are staying at the house at Camp Crystal Lake and stuff over that weekend and stuff. He's trying to help them and everything get away from Jason. But I really enjoy this movie. When I saw it for the first time, I saw it in the theater. It's the only Friday the 13th movie I got to see in the theater, and I remember going in to see it. I was really disappointed with it because I was like hugely anticipating this movie, because I was a huge Friday the 13th fan, and we hadn't had a movie with Jason in it since 2003's Freddy vs. Jason, so I was really excited for a new Jason movie. And I went in and I was really disappointed in it, and I watched it a couple more times when it first came out on DVD, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I just thought it was okay and everything. But every time I rewatch it now, over these past few years since I've been watching the movie together with the rest of the franchise and stuff, I actually always enjoy it a little bit more. It seems like this movie really is really entertaining and stuff and everything. I really like a lot of the characters in here, especially Clay. I think he's a awesome character, and I think Whitney is a really good final girl, although she doesn't really get to be in. She doesn't have a lot of screen time, but she is a likable character, and I love like how she manipulates Jason and stuff, kind of like Jenny did in part 2 and everything. And she is just really good in here. And Danielle Panabaker as Jenna is one of my favorite characters in the movie and everything. I really hated seeing her die. Every time I watch this movie and I see her die, I always just feel really sad, because she's like really likable character and everything. And out of her entire group of friends and stuff, she was the most likable out of all of them. I didn't really care for most of her friends, and a lot of these characters that were there just to be killed and stuff, really, none of them really stood out and stuff very well, except for Chewie, played by Aaron Yu. I really did like him. I thought he was another character that I really hated to see die, because I thought he was just funny and likable, and part of that I think also is I think Aaron Yu has that charm to him and everything. He's been in other movies. I just really like him. I think he's a really likable actor and stuff, and he does a really great job as a character. And Derek Mears as Jason in this movie is awesome. He's easily one of the best Jason movies. He's intimidating, he's huge, he's really fast moving and stuff. Like everything that he should have been in Freddy vs. Jason, Derek Mears is in this movie. And it would have been awesome having him be the one playing Jason if they would have done it that way. But I think he was really great in the role and everything. And my biggest negative with this movie is the character of Trent. He's just very annoying. I really didn't like him at all. Everything. He's a really unlikable character, and apparently he's the same character from the first Transformers movie that's trying to steal Michaela from Sam in the first Transformers movie and everything. Michael Bay had him play the same character in this one so we could get to see him killed off and everything, because he was really unlikable in Transformers, but he's even more unlikable in this movie. Like he cheats on Jenna and stuff. It just I really don't like him. He's just a really big douchey character and everything. But I will say that Travis Van Winkle did a good job playing him and everything. I thought his performance was fine. I just hated the character, but the actor did his job well in making him unlikable. And this movie has a really great opening. Like the first 25-30 minutes of the movie, before they actually show the title card of the movie and stuff, is like seeing Whitney and her friends getting settled in at Camp Crystal Lake. They're trying to find this weed and stuff that they heard was planted out there, and Jason attacks them one by one, and it's a really great opening. One of the best openings in the entire franchise. It's really intense, really great introduction to Jason and everything. And I also like how this movie pays tribute to the previous ones. Like, even though it is technically a reboot and everything, I wouldn't consider it a full-fledged remake, but it does have the homages to the first three movies. Like, the very beginning of the movie, we kind of see this is Voorhees being decapitated, and there's little references to 2 and 3 mostly throughout this movie and everything, especially for the first act of the movie, Jason's wearing like this the sack head and stuff, and personally I think the sack head look is way better in this movie than it was in part 2. I think it looks a lot better and everything. And then he gets his hockey mask at the beginning of the second act, and looks really awesome throughout the rest of the movie after he gets his hockey mask. Although personally I don't think this is the best look for Jason. I still think he's really intimidating and great, so it doesn't really bother me as bad. But I think the hockey mask that he wears in part 6 is probably my favorite out of all of them, part 6 and part 3. But I really do enjoy this movie, and it's crazy. Like, this movie's written by the same guys who did Freddy vs. Jason. It's like they really wanted to try to make up for the stuff they messed up with on Jason in that movie and everything, because everything they messed up with him on in that one is fixed in this one, and it works perfectly. Like I said, I don't know 100%, but I think that the reason Jason was the way he was in Freddy vs. Jason has to do with New Line being the one that created Freddy and everything, so they wanted to have Freddy outshine Jason more. I don't know if that's the case, but that's my theory on it anyway. But and this one's directed by Marcus Nispel, who also directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which I absolutely love and everything. Although I think I liked his work on that movie a lot more than this one, but he's did a really great job with both of them, and it's like crazy. He's directed 2 of the best horror remakes or reboots or whatever. And this movie's score is probably the other big negative I had besides Trent. Is it's not really that the score's bad and everything. Steve Jablonsky did a fine job and everything, but I miss Henry Manfredini. I just love his score in those previous movies, and I wish that he would have been able to come back to do the score for this one and everything. I would have liked to see what he would have done with a more modern setting and stuff like that, but I think Steve Jablonsky did a good enough job and everything. And this is just a really entertaining movie and everything. It's not super great. It's definitely not my most favorite in the franchise. In fact, it'd probably be in the lower half of the franchise ranking for me, or in the second half, probably closer to the top part of the second half of the ranking. But it's not one of my most favorites, but I do enjoy it every time I watch it. I can get why people love it and everything. I get some people not liking it because of him holding Whitney hostage and stuff, because it is a little bit out of character for Jason, but at the same time I kind of like it that they did something different with him, so it doesn't really bother me, but I can get why it would bother other people, I guess. But yeah, so this is a really entertaining movie, and it has some really great kills too, especially Trent's kill. Like, you wait the entire movie for him to get killed, and it really pays off. Like, he gets a pretty brutal kill and everything. The one kill though that I didn't really like was Chewie's death scene, and part of that was just, like I said, I didn't like seeing him die and everything, and he got a really brutal death that I probably would have thought was cooler with any other character, but I don't know why he had to get such a brutal death, because he was such a likable character. And also, and like the scene where he shoots the arrow through the guy's head and it just comes out of nowhere, really awesome kill as well. And then he stabs a girl through the deck and everything, and pulls her head up and everything. Really, really good kill as well. But this movie has some really great kills too and everything. But yeah, so I'd say I'd give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's not one of my most favorites in the franchise, but it's entertaining, and I always enjoy it when I rewatch it more than I did when I first saw it and everything. I just wish that this wasn't the last one. I really hope that we'll get more Jason movies here before too long, because it's been long overdue for a new Friday the 13th movie, whether it's a reboot or another sequel or whatever they want to do with it. We need more Jason and everything. It's one of the many things wrong with this world nowadays. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think of the 2009 Friday the 13th reboot, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.